Okay, here's where the problem started.
Now, why am I saying this? Mike Fitch, you're going on a crazy rant. Well, I hear people say this all the time. Why would a loving God send people to hell?
The problem here is that you have introduced a concept, hell, which you have not adequately defined. And because this wasn't adequately defined, I had to work off an assumption of what this concept means. It's your responsibility to adequately explain the terminology and the concepts that you're providing in videos for people on YouTube. If the content of the videos themselves is not enough to understand the concepts that you're attempting to introduce, that is a communication failure on your part. And if you don't think that you need to adequately define terms that you are going to introduce in videos that you're producing, what was the point of producing the video in the first place?
First off, you didn't ask me a question in that response, did you?
You know, they believe that even the unrighteous, while they will go to a place of punishment, which they refer to as Gehenna, which is also mentioned in the New Testament, but that is a different idea, because the people who will be punished in Gehenna will only remain there for a maximum of 12 months. And after that time, they will have been purified and will be allowed to enter Gan Eden, the Jewish concept of paradise. Doesn't that sound more humane than the idea of eternal hell in the Bible? Wouldn't you like that idea to be in the Bible?
If hell comes up, I teach that there's a place called heaven, there's a place called hell. We call it heaven, we call it hell because of certain reasons, and that's the Anglicanized name of it. But that hell is a negative place where evil is punished, and heaven is a positive place where uh, goodness is rewarded. And I say that, and I'm not prepared to debate on it right now. I haven't studied. This is just right off the top of my head.
Here's how this comes across. You are teaching a particular subject to a group of students, but you are attempting to explain concepts with which you are not entirely familiar. Do you understand the problem with doing this? Also, if there are positive claims or beliefs that you put in your YouTube videos that you are not willing to defend or clarify, don't introduce them.
I don't really even talk about heaven and hell that much because it's really besides the point.
Eschatology and the afterlife is the only point of Christianity. You know, Paul mentions in 1 Corinthians 15 that if there is no resurrection, that your faith is in vain. You know, if there was no afterlife, if there was no heaven or hell, would you be a Christian right now? I'm going to have to disagree regarding the amount of information which the New Testament provides regarding the attributes of its concept of hell. And part of the problem here is that a lot of other Christians are going to agree with that also. So while people from one specific Christian or group of Christians are going to have, you know, this more inchoate idea of a place of punishment, there are going to be other people who are going to tell them that they're going to be punished forever. And people are going to want definite answers. And shouldn't there be definite answers about something that is so important? But I can understand why the focus is not on hell, because the majority of churchgoers, that's not going to be something that they're going to worry about because they think that they're covered. And part of the problem that I see with this picture regarding Jesus wanting to have an intimate relationship with different people on pain of being punished, and many people would believe eternally, is that it creates the picture of the cosmic jealous boyfriend. Someone who demands this relationship so much uh, that their need to punish supersedes any compassion that they may have. They're completely unwilling to respect a decision to not have a relationship with them. Also, it seems to me that the concept of having an intimate relationship and fellowship with the cosmic jealous boyfriend amounts to Stockholm syndrome to a pretty alarming degree. Stockholm syndrome being the condition where people eventually develop feelings of compassion for their captor. And that's precisely what this is, regardless of the focus being on love or so forth. Behind it all is still the threat of punishment and the fear of being punished, because you really don't have a voluntary choice if you choose not to do something and someone's holding a gun to your head. And if you're going to block me for this, then I think that this exchange has stopped being productive. And I think that that would be a fairly cowardly thing to do. And it seems to me that the need to punish would be fairly characteristic of the Protestant concept of God. Peace.